Hello and welcome to another Jungle Coaching, and in this one we have a Diamond Zhao versus a Diamond Master Yi. Now every now and then you look at a game, you look at the length of the game, you look at the KDAs, the KPs, the damage, and you can see who carried the game. You can say, bot lane won, jungle div, whoa. Or you see, that's tragic that we smited there, this is absolutely horrific, I'm already tilted. But then you look at some games and you're like, how did one team win this? And how did they win it in 55 or how did they win it in 20? Doesn't matter. It makes you question what happened. I was scouting, looking for games for this particular video, and this was one of them. So I don't know what happens, but all I know is it feels like no one deserves to win. So let's see exactly what happens because the stats don't always tell the full story. Master Yi does red Krugs into his Raptors. The Zhao does blue Grump Wolves. Now remember, if you're playing this champion, you gotta play it like you're Java 4. As you see this here, look at this. This early ward level 1 from the Olaf. How juicy fresh. This ward here over from the Veigar. And obviously this one most likely from the Master Yi. Fully warded up, fully stacked up. And how much information are they getting from this stuff? Nothing. Literally nothing. This one might. I mean, if he does blue side into this for a 4 camper, it might give him some value. This is a nice late ward. This is the best ward possible from the Olaf. So thank you so much to him. He is diving the Yorick super low, and in this particular MMR, this is the problem. And if you also want to get to gold, diamond, and master tier about 2 years faster than everybody else, might as well go to Virkayu.gg and look at the courses designed specifically for your MMR. Everything you need within a few hours, no combing of information necessary, simply fast climbing, fast knowledge. Why wait to reach your peak when you can just do it in the next couple of weeks with all the knowledge through one weekend? Not to mention we have copious success stories on the website as well as one-on-one coaching, a coaching VOD library, and a free jungle improvement PDF. There's an inability to discern pressure in terms of which is the lane to snowball, because at the end of the day, in the gold course, in the platinum course, in all the courses, we delve into a specific thing that you need to accomplish as a jungler. In the diamond course, it's going to be something radically different. Now, the platinum course sets you up nicely for diamond by giving you basically the ability to adapt your pathing to control the game. However, in this particular MMR, look at the issues we have here. We have here a diveable Yorick. In high elo, this Olaf's gonna say, look, Sonny, I can dive this right now if you just show up. And the jungler's gonna be like, nah, I'm full clearing. If you're an Elise, if you're Rek'Sai, if you're something that can dive, it doesn't matter, even if you're not something that can dive. If you're Zyra jungle like I am, this is a diveable thing, something I want to gank and get in on. Why is it important? Because I know the Zhao started here, and if he hasn't shown up yet, at any particular moment, dude's doing a 5 camp grab minimum. So can I get out ahead of the ganking jungler to snowball a lane? Because laners in diamond will start to actually play off the pressure you give them. Laners in every elo will play off the pressure you give them. Obviously, the skill set is, hey, the silver jungler, hey, look, Vision, thank you, Olaf. And he even did this for you. He did this for you and also for himself. I think we can agree that he also did this for himself. But now he's shoving up super low. He wants to dive this. This should be a dead Yorick from the blue team's perspective. 307 dead, hops back to base. Olaf, you shove, play out. Enemy jungler has to hold and give up the Skull Crab because the Veigar here should now shadow up and basically say, look, Twisted Fate, I'm controlling this, I have the Event Horizon, you will not go nowhere. And then the Master Yi or whoever the jungler is gets this free Scuttle Crab. And then of course you can look to leverage double Scuttle depending on what you are. But the point is this doesn't happen. Now obviously he's a full clearing jungler, I get it. But that's why you've got to understand what jungler am I playing and why. Now, if Zhao shows up here for the gank, which would be tragic, that's what you'd expect in silver. But now he's shadowing this, which is, again, this is okay if you're full clearing jungler. So I like the ideology of, hey, look, I can't dive this. I don't want to dive this. I'm full clearing. But I see this thanks to your own vision control. Maybe we can kind of protect ourselves here and kind of shadow the scenario without being seen in case he's shown up here already. This is, on the face of it, something that makes a lot of sense. Now, if you're the Master Yi, you're doing this blind, right? You don't have any guaranteed vision, but I think it's kind of predictable that the Zhao is going to show up here. This is too tasty and juicy. Oh, Olaf, I understand, my top lane brothers. I understand. I know the pain that you have. Here we go. Like, you can see, when you look at like a Master Plus player or a Challenger player, you look at this, you're like, what the fuck? So like the Zhao is just like, nah, I'm a full clear. I'm relaxed. This is free gank anytime. And the Yi's thinking, he's gonna come here, right? He's gonna come here, right? And he just doesn't. And like the Yi's just watching because the champion is so piss useless at anything like this. You've got to play differently. If you're gonna sacrifice your top laner, sacrifice your top laner. It's not worth this. Take this, gank this, take this, counter jungle this. Gank this, loop again, like gold. And if you're not going to be doing that, wasting time here chilling makes no sense because you could have just made the dive in the first place. So the Olaf now gets trapped. He's still watching. He's still watching. We could have gone in already and killed him and saved the Olaf, 100%. But he's watching for so long. And the Xin Zhao's just like, yeah, I'm a full clear. Oh, I can rotate to this. So it's just complete ineptitude of pressure. Now, the difference is, right, you can snowball your lanes pretty heavily. So the Xin Zhao's going to go ahead here and snack himself, you know, some kill. And basically then he's going to basically sit here and be like, right, I can fight somebody else. We have here, for some particular reason, the Olaf walking to this side into the bush. I don't know what that was, and now we're going to go back to base. But what you're seeing here as the red side bottom lane also takes this one is that the junglers don't recognize very small windows to not only deny enemy jungler, but to get their lanes fed and to also get themselves fed, which then swaps into tempo control. Now, the tragedy is, right, as we see the Mouse show up on a ward with 33 CS, so if we know the guy did a full clear, that's 24, and he's going to show up here, and he's going to show up here, okay, so that's 32, he clears a ward, that's 33, how nice and easy. Now he's basically going to go down to the bottom side here, swapping direction, healing up, and maybe he's going to go ahead and sneak a dragon because he knows the red side bottom lane took this and would have gone back to base. So he has a small window with Xin Zhao. It makes no sense for him to stay on the bottom side, right? Why does it make no sense for Xin Zhao to stay on the bottom side? Because he bases here. Very, very delayed, but he knows that this and this is available for the Xin Zhao because he full cleared as well. We also know that the bottom lane from the red side goes back to base. So from his perspective, this is too risky. And he might as well fill that time farming his camps here. But this lane isn't something where he can cut in and cut up. And it's unlikely he's going to loop back and gank this down again, given now that they would have to reset. So the Xin Zhao has no ability here to sneak this without uncertainty and risk of death. And the Yi is basically banking on that, and it's a good call. Makes a lot of sense, right? Calling the bluff of position. Now, obviously, the fact that we don't have flash here, and of course, there is inherent risk with bards, with enemy support roams. I'm not going to tell you that, hey, this play is genius. I'm telling you that this play is a sneaky play designed to get a dragon and get out. It carries within the risk death. I know this fully when I play Mundo, and I do that all the time. But the difference is with Mundo, right, is that I will pull it out and just run away. So if I'm going to sneak this, obviously the Scuttle Vision doesn't help us in this particular regard, but hey, you know that's the risk. And in the meantime, the Xin Zhao cuts a 3 camp to gank the Olaf and dies anyway. We are now level 5 Xin Zhao with no dragon going down to the bottom side here, really short rotation, having died to the top laner again. I feel that this recognition, whether it's top lane, mid lane, or bot lane, is a separator. It's the great separator. Now, does he choose at this point just to go for Scuttle? No, he doesn't. Should he? Yes. Why? Because we know that the Did the Demacia just leave his Gromp up? Is that what he just did? Did he just leave his Gromp up? He left his Gromp up and is coming down. You have to see this again. So he leaves the base, cuts into the wolf camp, and then goes down. There's no reason for this. You're basically saying, look, there's no objective here. I know the RNG Scuttle's there, but the guy died here. He's going to have tempo control going down because his blue's going to be up and his Grump, Wolves, Raptors will be up. Therefore, I'm just going to go Grump into Wolves into down. If I can gank this, then I will. But otherwise, I'm just going to go and do a full sequence down and maybe look to do something bottom lane. Xin Zhao, in the meantime, does his blue first. He should just go do the Scuttle to guarantee it. But I guess if you're basically projecting the Yi to full clear down at this particular stage, and, you know, okay, fine, like, no one's gonna come, then, you know, sure, go for it. Just finish it. Just finish it before you do the ward, okay? Because once it's down, they have no reason to move into the river, right? If you keep hovering and keep coin flipping it, yeah. Again, it's not a big issue. It's a small, tiny little thing, but these small, tiny little things are the things that makes the difference. Just finish it off. Now we're gonna run down to the bottom lane here and try and take on the bottom lane. Do we get a lucky? I think we get a lucky. We get a lucky. Now, should that in any universe happen? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen at all. The Masi, in the meantime, is basically here shadowing this like, yes, I can I can lane gank a Twisted Fate Veigar lane. Oh boy, man. So let's just break it down for a second because this is so clumsy and messy, and I don't really understand. Like the Xin Chao's still 2-on-1, but this here, if you're the bottom lane, if you're the Lulu, what's the rule? Don't finish the base. All right, if your ADC is going to be left alone. Always base if you can in that particular situation, like just even half a second afterwards so that you know if your ADC doesn't cancel, you've got or does cancel, does get interrupted, you have half a second to respond and kind of stay to help the 2v1, right? Which of course maybe we can possibly win, especially into mini wave. But we disappear. Xin Chao does these things. Again, it's not a big issue because there's no real threat. It's just about for me, it's just about that, I'm doing stuff. You know, like I'm not wishy-washy. The Yi, on the other hand, now is over here with Noonquiver, 21 stacks on his moss number. So we roam on down here, and again, it's just a lazy base. Just dissipate backside. He wastes his time, and we're out. So lazy from the bottom side. Obviously, the Vayne is a kill now. I like this, though. A little bit of a translation gank to the mid lane. Flash, yellow card, W. Flash is the W. We're just going to flash E here and go for that knockup, which we get, and we ult, and we die, and it's, you know, we'll get something. That in the meantime, obviously, we have here the Bard on the top side that he's like, yo, what's up? And he shows up. Very, very a decent, you know, exist. Really, really messy jungling. So when those of you who are watching this, you're platinum, you want diamond. This is not D4, by the way. It's like D3, D2 MMR game. And you're looking at this, you know, it just reeks of, man, if I can have such a grasp of the fundamentals by the time I reach diamond, and I play consistently and I play well, you could easily steamroll through diamond, right? That's the thing that I want you to take away from this, because there's so many players who are good at one thing and one thing only, but they're damn good at it in terms of relation to the player base. Like they do one thing super good, and to use broken English, and essentially no one can counter it because they just have the control over it. Now, as soon as you go from D4 to master, you've got to become better at other things, or you're like high elo, you know, good at that one thing that you're doing. But most of the time, that's not the case. And most of the time, you have to adapt yourself. And I always coach fundamentals and adaptation because it just rewards you so much no matter what jungler you're playing. This dive here, get ahead of the Xin Chao. Why? Because the Xin Chao is full clearing for some reason. The Xin Chao could look to do this. So he's like, well, maybe he's going to look to do this. So I'm going to shatter the situation probably. Instead of saying, hey, why don't I just ward? Or like, can we 2v2 this? Oh, wait a second, it's not a 2v2 because Yorick's on the turret with no HP. So if I just check this bush with the Olaf and ward it, I can carry on about my day. Obviously, the Xin Chao can do this. And then just the rest of the pathing has been wonky and inefficient. But what they do is they're good at... it's not always waffling, but they're just good at not standing still. So we have here the Xin Chao going, investigating the blue side, okay, to look for the Marcy. There's no tracking at a high level, right? There's no concept of, this is the flow I want, this is what I want to do. They take strong PvP champions and look for action and they force it. Look at this. He's going to go for this Herald now. They're not thinking about each other in a way that you'd expect mid-diamond players to do so. Twisted Fate ults. He is forced to flash out. We're not going to do this. Veigar should rotate here. This is the 3v2. Bard's on the bottom. He's like, okay, he's having fun in the circus. This is a 3v2, guys. Can you win this 3v2? Straight up guaranteed. You will have to know this. In my opinion, you probably cannot. As we can see, I let it play in real time while I was speaking, so obviously that it happens first. They're coin flipping over Herald for some particular reason. It's the same thing as down here. The Yi risks it for the biscuit for this dragon, but does he do it quickly? No. If you're Shyvana, if you're Vi, if you're Mundo, we can do this and get out before the Bard shows up. The Yi took a little bit too long to do it, right? So that's a risky play. Ugh. And then he cuts in, skips his Grump, goes down, and then just ends up floating on this top side for so long and basically dies for it. Yeah, the Olaf gets the Herald, but there's no discernible game plan, right? It's just saying, look, I'm mechanically strongish. Maybe I can do a couple things to keep myself fed ahead of the curve, and then I can rotate to some scenarios. And a lot of the time, it's about just being first in places with these people. So we do the Wolves here after we see the Marcy, and I just want to contextualize this. Obviously, we saw the Ghouls already. Wolves into the Grump, okay? Why? Because we know that he's going to go ahead and do the Scuttlecrab 99%. Does he then start to do this, given that he will have, obviously, some prio in the bottom lane, and he knows that if anyone collapses on him, they can make that collapse themselves. The Xin Chao basically says, look, I'll do the quadrant down. I know that he could be on this. I want to check it. Bard's like, well, we're losing this lane anyway, this particular stage, so I might as well move to have a look. Twisted Fate's over here. He does not have ultimate. That's a big thing. No TP either. The question mark is, have you been paying attention to the bottom lane? Now, I don't think either of these guys have been at all, but it should be within your habitual activities. If you want to go and contest something, you have to assume at this level of play, people have warded the surrounding area to some degree, which means, where's your scanner, man? Where's your control ward, man? Like, where's your vision control, man? And Diamond junglers have absolutely shit tier vision control. They think that they can just do whatever they want without, payback. And a Master Tier Blast Challenger jungler will just, like, wipe the floor with you because they see everything you do in addition to you being absolutely predictable. Your little random hooks don't surprise them, right? That's the level you want to get to, obviously, if you're looking to improve in this MMR range. And just scan, man. Just scan, because people have been in the area and the guy might have done this and warded this or done this and warded this, because that's what people do. That's what junglers do. However, the Master's also shown himself the ability to just sit in the bush and wait for you because he knows you're coming. So why was he in this bush when I gained top lane level 4? He must have seen me from somewhere, right? And also, if you were on this while this ward died, you would know that you were seen. Like, that's important, right? The ward was there as we started red. We would see it die as we're doing red, so you know that they know that we're there. End of story. Got to compute that. Got to recognize that. So here, control wards and scanner are the good juice. And what would we see? I don't want to show because we would see. Okay, fine. Now we see, now we see, now we see. Okay, so he is trapping. I didn't want to look. I wanted to see if he was actually doing the dragon, because you don't know. You just don't know. And obviously in lower elos, he would be doing the dragon. So basically here, we're going to go for the check and say, is he on the dragon? No, okay, cool. Wait, where is he? Where would he go after this? Because we have a ward here. We have a ward here. He's entered this arena. This is down. Where is he? Did he go back to base? When I last saw him, did he die? Did he do some clearings? What happened? So if he died recently, or which he did, or if he sort of went back to base recently, and we knew this, and then we see him go through here, what on earth would possess a jungler to die, walk through this, take a Scuttle Crab, and go back to base again? Literal Diablo 4 demon possession potentially, because not human brain. So you could theorize, maybe he's in this bush. Maybe he's here because we did not see him leave. We did not see him leave after we saw him go in. So he has to be in the area. And I don't know how to stress this other than stare at your damn minimap a bit more often and pay attention to it. But regardless, let's have a look to see what happens. Bard has a cheeky look. They leave the bush a little soon. Again, we miss a W. Nice double Q there. Very, very nice. The root from the Jin. The Bard ult's coming through. We're going to take the tunnel to safety. And now, basically, that should be a free dragon for the blue team. Xin Chao says, wait, let me contest it. But if they could predict and saw me come down, if they were able to trap this, where did they see me? Did they see me here? Or did they see me here? Or did they see me here? So, at half HP, are you really going to contest this dragon and die for this dragon right now? I don't think so. Oh, well, Veigar and Master Yi show up anyway because Twisted Fate goes to the top side. He's like, hello! Can I greet you with death? Not quite dopa, but it is a thing. And, Bard is dead, obviously, and Yi's going to tower dive this one, and the Jin isn't going anywhere, so you can wait for the wave to crash and then kill and then dodge aggro a little bit better. You have the Lulu with you. If you exude a little bit of patience here, you're going to be fine. This is some of the worst jungling I've seen in a while. And now we have the, Veigar, pop off, baby. You can do it. Twisted Fate coming from the top lane. No paying attention of the Xin Chao, who goes to the bottom lane for no particular reason. Decides to go in and give the kill to the Dopa. So basically, why go down here? Well, there's a dragon. So I don't really care. And these camps are up and this blue's up, and this obsession is wild in terms of going to the same side where we just came from, even though there's not a lot of bounty. Obviously, here we could go ahead and just snack this dragon. His game was ruined from the outset because he lost tether range, reset, and he smited. If you just drag it, at 600 you could smite it and go to the Grump super quick. If you really just want to do that, you can do that, So he cost himself early already. But I love Xin Chao's to look for 3-cam actions. I mean, Red Raptor's Grump, go gank bottom lane. Red Raptor's Grump, gank the bottom lane. Snowball, if you want to gank the Yorick to kind of stifle the Olaf, do your thing. But honestly, Olaf is super strong. The best way you can help your team beat Olaf is by having a Jin and a Bard and a Twisted Fate, who can do their best to kite him out So his ultimate isn't anything. So we'll do the blue, we'll do the dragon, we'll move into the jungle. This is a good move, obviously. The Master Yi is just like roaming here for no particular reason either. Scuttle Crab on the top side. Now we're going into this zone here looking for red buffs. I apologize for being a little bit more mean with my temperament today, but it has been highly stressful these last 4 to 6 weeks, personally and professionally, and obviously with sickness, and this is not helping at all. In coaching, it's obviously a lot more, upbeat and positive, and but these things are expected to be known to a large degree. So basically, we do leverage this opportunity just to rush. Can we hit a W into the bottom lane here? The Vayne is repositioning, and that bot ult misses. We're forced to use our ult. No, we're using it anyway, but we're forced to make sure that that ult is used such that we don't die. Now Vayne and Lulu, and Vayne and Lulu, and Vayne and Lulu. He's just standing still. He's like, I'm gonna eat this to the face. I mean, he's 0-4-0. Do we blame him for going 0-4-0? No, the synergy's wonderful. But I think that we would prefer 4-4-4. So if he was 4-4-4, I could handle it. But so much of this game is stressing the following to me. That a lot of junglers, when you add in one wrinkle of uncertainty or confusion into their game plan, or their strategy, or their ability, you no longer see anything that represents their level of play. Because they don't know what to do. And in Diamond, this is especially true because, again, as I said, like a Vayne top one trick who just spam ganks to get to spam Vayne top to get to top lane, fine. But then you go against players in Diamond who can handle range tops, who can play against range tops and beat range tops, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to react to it, and they just start losing, and they blame their junglers and things like that. And of course, I do understand this, but junglers, your ability to snowball the lanes in the right way is so powerful. When you get to Diamond Plus, you've got to recognize, look, I can't full clear here, or no, I should cut here, or why don't I cut the opposite direction, or should I dive this before the Xin Zhao shows up? Maybe. Because the Olaf is the thing you want to snowball. Level 12 Veigar. The level 12 Veigar. It's a level 12 Veigar. Can't do it. You don't win it. Marcy runs. The ghoul man summons. He is no longer maidenless, but Olaf is now attacked by ghouls. Fungus. Virus. He's forced to ult. Oh, he's ulting for the E. Okay, of course, yeah. Of course he's ulting for the E. Lulu. Man, okay, so this is fun. The Veigar's just like, I'm gonna shove this. All right, so basically looking at it now, okay, in the middle of a bit here, the Vayne and the Veigar have done good work. Without a doubt, they deserve to win the game, so that's where it's at. But the junglers was basically, what happens if you jungle nothing? Because that's what it feels like, right? It feels like we've just lacked any sort of discernible game plan, pressure, execution, overcommitment. Our pathing is wonky. It just doesn't make sense in any sense of the imagination. And we're down on levels as a Xin Zhao, and honestly, it's because we full cleared. I don't really care that we got a kill at the end of it. You cannot results base that, right? Haha, I faked you out, sonny boy. I will go up now. Goodbye. Who gets, like, it's a solo kill, man. Like, it's an absolute solo kill. And Veigar's doing the right thing here. This is the difference, right? If you're a jungler in this sort of game, like a platinum and a silver elo, and you see this, just shove turrets. Turrets. Again, I do it. Turrets. Towers. Just do it. Just go, just stack, just push, just disengage, just fall back, leave some wards. Off we go. Super nice, super good, super fun. And just end the game and win. Like, you can do it so quickly, you know? Twisted Fate. Caught. Avoided. Bird. Lulu. Flash burned. A little bit of an overcommit here. He is got a red of ages, so he is quite, he be a bit tanky. We have an Olaf. Well, we have an army. You swap the meme around. Dragon is spawning. The Xin Zhao is 4-7-3 at this particular stage. The Yi is 4-5-4. I have not seen a game. I don't think we've seen a game on this channel And we've had some really good diamond games, and obviously this is not representative. We fully understand this, right? We're having a bit of fun with it. We're overreacting a bit. But if we were to break it down at its core concept, you know, someone's like, hey, coach me in this video, I'd say, look, just chuck it. Send me something that's more representative. This is just a shit game. You didn't sleep. You didn't wake up. You didn't think about anything. I don't know. You didn't wake up. You know, you're just not in it, right? You're just complete auto-zoned your mind, and there's nothing really here. So it's been a while since we've had two junglers basically do so many things wrong that they're not really involved. But it's not uncommon to see games like this in Diamond when you take them off a champion or off a playstyle, or the meta shifts. If the meta shifts, you know? So this is now the first logical thing that you could say makes a lot of sense. Hey, let's group up into a dragon. But now, of course, we started it. We see the Veigar, and of course, we have the Vayne on the bottom side. We have, sorry, the Vayne on the top side. We have here the Yi and the Veigar. We have here the Olaf and the Lulu. Can we 4v2 them, or can we 4v2 them before Yorick shows up? And Yorick does have TP. So basically, if you're looking at this game from the blue team's perspective, Vayne is here with no TP. He has TP. What should you do right now if you started this up and made this call? Just TP in. Because you're not going to get a better fight than this one. 21-13, 40,000 to 33,000. I don't care about the bottom wave. I care that Vayne's top lane. I don't care about the dragon either. We could very easily win a 5v4 here. And if we can't win the 5v4 here, then are we going to win this game? At the same time, you could just say, look, disengage, because he's over, just run away, and then we'll push this out a little bit, and maybe we can take something else. Maybe we can push this one more Vayne's top lane. What can we do while Vayne's top, essentially, is the question. Whether it's a fight, whether it's giving up a fight, just because to avoid, you know, demise, and wait until the Baron is a payoff, maybe. I mean, there's a few scenarios here, but basically, in this particular case, once you get trapped in the Veigar, that's a dead person, all right? Twisted Fate doesn't have Zhonya's. We have here the Vard ulting the Lulu. The Xingqiao does kill the Veigar, which is great. The TP happens here, right? The TP happens once the Twisted Fate is dead. Versus base, now TP, right? Vayne top lane, let's go. Let me zone this. Let me try and do something here, man. At the same time, look, I'm with you guys if you're the Yorick. Like, I don't want, just give it up, fall back. Why is it part of the wall? The positioning is terrible. All these things, right? But it's just, like, the late TP does nothing. By the time you're in the fight, two people are dead. It was easy for them to focus you down because two people were dead. The Vayne is like a, I'm coming team, but the Olaf is just super juiced. You know, never little. So it's a terribly 14 fight. The positioning is terrible. It doesn't work at all. There is a universe where you position correctly, you don't split your team up so much, and once you have two people on the side, you 4v2 this side or you 4v2 this side. You make their play with a TP commit to zone and also to maybe make it a 5v2, and then you turn on the other two, you take the dragon, you push this out, you push this out. Vayne's like, oh, why is the top lane? And you can get back into the game. I think that's the idea behind that kind of play. Whether or not you can execute it, subject to team comp, player skill, everyone being on the same page, I get it, but as we can see, this was messy. We had to go with a lot of like hypotheticals and theoreticals because the jungler's just behavior. He's overkiting every camp almost. Mercy shows up. Veigar's just super juiced because he just did his thing. Now we're caught with our hand in the cookie jar with 3 people here and 2 people here. So what can they do now that it swaps? We can 2v2 this. This guy's over here with the shovel. We have a 2v3 here. The blue team just has to all coalesce in this direction and they win the game. Kill the Xingqiao first. Come back to the rest of your team. Nice kill. Now they're split, right? 2 on the left, 2 on the right. So all that the blue team has to do is zone 1 and focus on the other. Olaf can deal with them, so now we can turn on this if we want to, which is what Vayne is, of course, doing. The Veigar cage zones. Olaf does his job. Perfectly done. Vayne's now using her spacing. Auto-spacing. 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 Can I do it? She's chasing. Yes, she can. GG. FF. That's it. Done. So, a great example of what? I don't know. Hopefully you learned something from the mess. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next coaching. Holy shit.